All right, everybody. We are live. I think we are live. Anyway, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I am your host, Christopher Bell, certified public accountant, long-term boglehead investor, and hater of garbage investment advice that is going to lead you to financial ruin. Now, if you've never heard of the guy named Jeremy Lefebvre or whatever, he runs this YouTube channel called Financial Education because he's such a great educator. And on his channel, he likes to feature a lot of stunks that he thinks are going to make it big. Some of his guesses haven't been that bad, and anything that he's probably done poorly at, he probably doesn't show to people. But he's pretty big on YouTube. He has like 600,000 subscribers. Now, a lot of people call me a hater, and I am. I am a hater of people like Jeremy that promise people insane returns over the long run in the stock market and mislead young and impressionable investors with garbage investment advice. Now, Jeremy has this program, I think it's called like Financial Fortress, where you have to pay money. You have to obviously pay money to sign up, and you get a couple perks. You get like access to a Discord. You get phone calls with a financial coach, one of his coaches that he has. And I believe you even get to talk to him every once in a while. But I recently called his company because I was curious. If this guy is such a genius and he's really helping people, how much is he charging his fans? And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of money that he's charging people for basically garbage investment advice is insanely ridiculous. And I called this morning, so I have the most updated prices. Now, I'm not going to reveal his stock picks, and I'm not going to reveal who I talked to. I'm not going to go into detail about, all the stuff that we talked about. But there are a couple things that stood out to me when I called up there to his amazing company that really freaking pissed me off. So when I called this morning, I called Financial Fortress, Jeremy's amazing investment company. The guy I was talking to basically said that on average, and I'll check my notes here, on average, the investors that pay for his service get between 30 and 40%. Now, if you don't know this, ladies and gentlemen, some of the best investors alive, think Peter Lynch and Warren Buffett, I don't even think they got 30 or 40% returns in the long run on their portfolios. So just because this guy said that you're going to potentially get 30 or 40% based on what, other people have done, it's insanely ridiculous, and it's not going to last for the long run. On average, the average investor probably gets 2 or 3% compounded per year. And the stock market as a whole in the United States historically has done 10%. So if you see somebody that's like, oh yeah, a lot of our clients, they got 30 or 40% returns, it's complete and utter garbage. On top of that, he told me that Jeremy himself, our fearless hero, got, and this is what he told me. He said Jeremy has roughly got 70% returns on average. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a sustainable return. You are not going to get 70% year over year. Now, you might have a good year where stonks go up and there's a crazy bull market and maybe you have a good couple plays. Yeah, you might get 70%, 100%, whatever. But you're not going to get that every year. But to claim that this guy, who's like roughly my age, has gotten 70% year over year is ridiculous, okay? He is not a better investor than Warren Buffett. So we kept talking, and I was, he asked me some good questions. He kind of asked me like, okay, what's your portfolio? And then he went and showed me some of the materials, some of the research materials that they go through. So the company is not a complete fraud, this Financial Fortress that Jeremy runs. It's not a fraud, but a lot of the promises or the implied promises for returns are pretty ridiculous. You're not going to get 30, 40%. And I don't believe that Jeremy got 70% per year. And if he did, then that guy got extremely lucky. And I don't see that going into the future. But on top of that, we went through some of the due diligence materials. So the guy talked about a 10K, which is a annual financial report. And he kind of showed me some of the documents that are provided to you when you sign up for the course. And the documents weren't that bad. At least there's, some numbers in there and you're looking at profitability and revenue growth, whatever. I'm not saying that's bad stuff to look at, but my issue is how much they charge for this stuff. But before we get to the charges, how much they charge to give you access to this amazing material, let's talk about the basically model portfolio that Jeremy and his underlings recommend. Now, I'm sure, every person that's invested may have different stuff in their portfolio. But I asked the guy, I was like, on average, how many stonks do the average investor have in their portfolios when they sign up for financial education? And if you're under 100K, he said on average, people will have between 5 to 7 stocks. Look, ladies and gentlemen, even though you may do insane due diligence and do your research on a stock, and maybe you're right, maybe some of the stocks are, explosive growth companies and you may make a lot of money. If you screw up one stock or two stocks, that could completely crush your portfolio if you only have 5 to 7 stocks in your entire portfolio. That's freaking ridiculous, okay? I do not recommend that you put 5 to 7 stonks as your entire portfolio. What I recommend is that you have total world stock market index funds, and then you can dedicate 5% or maybe 10% if you really want to gamble into buying individual stocks and other speculative plays. But the fact that the majority of these people have 5 to 7 stocks in their portfolio, that's ridiculous. So the guy said on average, if you have $100,000 or below, you're going to have 5 to 7 stocks. And then he said, if you're 500,000 or below, you're probably going to have 10 to 12 stocks. That is not adequate diversification. Do not put your financial future in jeopardy by concentrating all of your wealth, all of your investable dollars in 10 to 12 stocks. That is not how you succeed in the long run, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you had a good year and you think you're smart, 10 to 12 stocks is not enough because anything could happen. You are not diversified enough to truly succeed in the long run. And I know Warren Buffett maybe doesn't have that many stocks, but you're not Warren Buffett. And Jeremy's not Warren Buffett either. If he's saying, I got 70% compounded per year, that's ridiculous. There's no freaking way. And even if he did get that, trust me, he's been playing a lot of meme hype stocks. And I don't think in the long run, he's going to have 70% going forever into the future. Now, what else did the guy talk about? Let's see. He mentioned Kathy Woods, of course, as an example, and he showed me some documents. So here's what our strategy is. Great. But I didn't really get that much of an impression that they would actually pick stocks for you. What the firm does is basically educate you on basic investing fundamentals, like how to read a 10K, the basics of investing, what metrics to use. That's basically what they provide for you. And they also provide a Discord where you can go in there and you can chat with other people that are investing in his stonks or, doing research. So basically, I don't see the value that this company provides. I mean, they have, they have millionaires that are investing there and they have coaches with credentials. But listen to what they charge, okay? And these were told to me. And if Jeremy ever sees this, he can write me and I can, if I'm wrong or if I'm being misleading, I'll take the video down. But this is what the guy told me. Now, there's multiple tiers that you can put your money into. So you can pay a certain amount for tier 5, tier 4, tier 3. And going up, you're going to pay more and more money. Now, the guy I talked to, he recommended that I invest or I pay for tier 4 of the program. The tier 4 is $5,000. So you have to pay this scoundrel $5,000 and you get access to the Discord. I think you get like 1 or 2 calls that you can talk to Jeremy and a coach, but that's it. And then some basic investment materials. And you have to pay $5,000. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. If you put your money in a total world stock market index fund or any index fund, doesn't have to be the one I like, you're going to be paying maybe $100 a year, $200 a year in fees, depending on your investment balance. That is nothing, okay? You don't need to be paying $5,000 for somebody to promise you or imply, maybe it's not a promise, but they imply that you're going to get 20, 30, 40%. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Stocks don't always go to the moon. And paying $5,000 to be able to talk to this guy once or twice or whatever, and then go on the Discord is flatly ridiculous. But that's not it. That's not all of it. There's actually higher tiers, and you can spend more money. You can give more of your hard-earned money to this guy. Now, the highest tier, actually, let's go to tier 3. Tier 3, which you get like more access. Basically, the higher the tier, the more access, the more coaching, The more phone calls, that's it. Tier 3, $8,000. $8,000 up front to learn about how to read a 10K, how to get access to a Discord, and then some basic investing charts and materials. Wow. But it gets even better, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 2, you get even more access. You get like more coaching calls, whatever. It's so amazing. 30% returns, guys. $12,000. And the icing on the cake for tier 1, ladies and gentlemen, is $20,000. So this scoundrel is charging people up to $20,000 to give basic investing education. You would be much better off maxing your tax advantage accounts and buying index funds in those accounts, because in the long run, you're not going to get 30, 40% or 70% like this guy's claiming. I wouldn't call it a fraud. There are legitimate things in the course, but it's not worth the price. You don't want to pay between $2,000 and $20,000 to get some basic crap. Okay, you can go read a couple books. You can go subscribe to Sven Carlin's channel or mine if you haven't already. Like and subscribe. Or you can just buy a couple books, like even my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's $3 on Amazon. Wow. You could do that instead of paying some bozo up to $20,000 for basic information. So don't listen to this guy, okay? He will basically help you concentrate your portfolio in 5, 10, 12 stocks. He'll charge you up to $20,000, could be less depending on what tier it is. And he's just going to basically screw you over in the long run. So trust me, if you're subscribed to this guy, unsubscribe right now. Don't freaking listen to him. Or if you want to listen to him, take 5% of your portfolio and invest it in whatever stonks that he puts on his YouTube channel. But you don't need to pay him up to $20,000. Jesus Christ. Got some comments. Financial Education, Jeremy, me, Kevin are hype investors. Yeah, they're freaking horrible. They're going to screw so many people over by constantly pumping these meme stocks and cryptocurrency. I don't know if Jeremy pumps cryptocurrency, but I know me, Kevin, with his amazing investment advice, likes to pump cryptocurrency. $5,000 is a scam. You can buy a book. Exactly. And it goes up to $20,000. And I literally called the guy earlier today. So this isn't me just pulling numbers out of my butt. So if you take anything from this video, ladies and gentlemen, number one, subscribe. I will never mislead you. All I want you to do is buy my freaking book and subscribe to my channel. My book's $3 on Amazon. Oh my God, I'm exploiting you. And don't sign up for this guy's course. It's a freaking ripoff. He's not going to magically help you make 30, 40, 50, 60% in the next 10, 15, 20 years. The best investors alive have not matched that return. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on my lunch break. I'm going to go eat some food, and then I'm going to go back to work. You guys have a wonderful day.